So I wanted to address a common question I get a lot, and I've addressed this before, but it's 2022. Last time I addressed it was about 4 or 5 years ago. 2022. Is it necessary or required, or should you go to a automotive, diesel, industrial mechanic school and get your certification, your degree, or whatever to get in the industry that you want to get into? And guys, I will group this right there with college. College to me is the same exact thing. What normally happens in people's lives is they get around 16, 17, 18 to have a counselor, they have a parent, they have a grandparent. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're living? And you really feel pressured into doing something. And so you kind of pick something you're sort of kind of interested in, but you're not really passionate about. And don't feel bad for that, because the average person doesn't have any clue what they're passionate about. There's only like 5 or 10% of us that actually figured out from a young age what we're actually passionate about. And unfortunately, a lot of times you don't want to turn your passion into a career, because sometimes it kind of taints your passion for it. So most people, most men and women, they end up signing up, going to college, going to a technical skills school, and signing up for a tremendous amount of debt. They go through the school, and then they're promised all this stuff on the at the end of it, at graduation, you'll make X amount of money with everything, and it doesn't end up working out that way. If you absolutely 100% know that you are absolutely meant to be something that requires a degree, then this video is not for you. You need to pursue that. If you've always wanted to be an engineer, then obviously you have to go to college, you have to get your engineering degree. Now, with that being said, at least for the mechanic side of everything, it's not necessary to go to a mechanic school, a diesel school, and sign up for that debt to go do it. Once you go through a program like UTI, Lincoln Tech, WyoTech, any of those kind of tech programs, you end up paying, I think UTI right now for automotive diesel technology with the Hot Rod U program and everything is like 50,000, 52,000. I think is what somebody told me. It was 24,000 when I went. I went to UTI in 2000 and 2001. It was a 24-month program. I made it about 11 months in it, and then I started playing hooky and thought I had better things to do and got kicked out of the program. So I didn't finish the program, but what I did get to finish was paying the student debt for it. Just because you get kicked out of the program or whatever, you're still responsible for that entire student debt. I wasn't very good at going to school when I was younger. I wasn't very good in school. I never have been very good in school. Right around 5th, 6th grade, my grades were always an issue. I was always having problems passing class. I was always having issues in school. And ever since then, sitting down in like a school program, sitting down for 6, 7, 8 hours or a 4-hour class or something, I just start falling asleep. I can't pay attention. And I don't know, it's because maybe I have ADHD or had it from a young age and never diagnosed with it or whatever. But all that being said, I just was not cut out to go to school. It's cut out to work with my hands. I've always wanted to work with my hands. But when you go to these programs like Lincoln Tech, WyoTech, UTI, you end up going through it and getting the end, and they promise you that, oh, when you get this degree and once you leave, you're going to make X amount. The average technician in the U.S. makes $60,000 a year, $80,000 a year, and then that recruiter will always tell you that one story about that one mechanic that he knows that works at that dealer, and that guy makes $125,000 a year or $225,000 a year. And he's probably not lying. There are techs out there that make a tremendous amount of money doing it that way. They go to school, they get out, and they hit the ground running. But for the average person, it's not necessary. When you get out of a program like Lincoln Tech, WyoTech, UTI, you're going to be making bottom of the dollar pay, lube tech, oil change pay, because you don't have any experience. And that's what a shop foreman is going to look at. They're going to look at you not having any experience at all and be like, man, I don't know if this guy's going to burn up a bunch of engines or what. So they're going to offer you a very low wage. Right now, it's going to be far less than $20 an hour, somewhere around maybe $13 to $18 an hour, at least in Texas. And that's it. Now, UTI and Lincoln Tech, they have these like Ford FACT programs, BMW, all these other programs and stuff, and that'll get you into a dealer where you're making what's called flat rate or flag hours, which is a whole nother video in itself. But if you don't know what that is, that means a F-150 comes in, there's a book established time for every job on that truck, almost every job. Say it needs a water pump. That water pump calls for 2 hours. You get that job in, you get it done in 30 minutes, you got paid for 2 hours. Now, you get that job in, and the parts guy ends up him hauling around, or you have to go, 45 minutes all around the dealership because the truck was parked in the wrong spot. Well, that's all at your expense. So if that job takes you 2.5, 3 hours, you got paid for 2. Some flat rate techs make a tremendous amount of money off of it, and they do really well. I had worked at a dealer in several different places at flat rate, and it's never worked out in my favor. And about 90% of the other mechanics that I've ever known to work in a situation like that, they quit because you end up getting screwed. There's a straight book time when customer pay, and most of the things at a dealer are warranty, and warranty is about, a little more than half or less than half of the customer pay. And then when it leaves and it comes back, then you've got to recheck and you do stuff for free, and it's not worth it. So if you're going to go to one of these programs, you're going to get into a class like that, then that's what you're looking at. You're looking at getting put into a dealer where they can promise you, yeah, we're going to pay you $25, $30, $35 an hour at flat rate. All right, they'll lie. They'll tell you our average tech, this one tech, Jimmy Joe Bob over here, man, he's killing it. He makes 127. But that's not going to work out for the average person. If you do decide to go to one of these programs, even a college degree, I highly encourage you guys. My best piece of advice I can ever give you is only go if you can afford it. If you can afford to pay cash for every single semester of your school, you earn enough money, or you're fortunate and you have some family members that can help you out and pay that off immediately and not have to get a student loan, by all means do it. Great. But for the average person, that's not the case. If you came from a background like me, my parents were broke, didn't have any money, I had to sign up for student debt. And that student debt is the one debt that it chases you for the rest of your life. They will garnish your wages, they will take your tax returns, they will do everything possible. You can file bankruptcy, anything that you want, and you will never get away from that student debt. And the prices are just absolutely astronomical. Right now in the U.S., like all you guys on February aren't aware of this, on February 7th, they changed even CDL drivers. CDL drivers, if you need to, I think even if you need to renew your license, like if you let it lapse, if you're going to try to be a CDL trucker, you have to go to a school, and it starts around $4,000 to $7,000 for now. I can guarantee you guys by the end of the year, next year, that $7,000 is going to be 15, and then 15 is going to turn into 25, and that 25 is going to be 30, and then 40. And in about 5-10 years, you'll end up having to spend about $50,000 to be a truck driver. But they will gladly let you sign all the paperwork and sign up for that debt indefinitely because the government backs that student debt, and they allow people to chase you for the rest of your entire life to secure their payment, as well as adding fees and interest and penalties, and it's just this never-ending debt. You don't want to get into that. It's just not worth it when it comes to the skilled trades. You are completely able to get a job. Go apply. Go. If you live in a large area that has a bunch of shops, go into every single shop. Shake hands with the owner. Walk up, dress nice. You don't have to dress, it's a mechanic job. You don't have to dress in a suit. Your cleanest pair of jeans, your clean pair of tennis shoes. Go to Goodwill, buy you a button-up shirt, order you a cheap button-up shirt off Amazon or eBay or whatever. Go in there, ask to talk to the shop foreman and the manager, and say, I don't have any experience. I want to be a mechanic. I'm willing to start anywhere possible. When how can I help you? When can I start? And if he tells you, oh man, we don't have anything right now, check back in a couple of weeks. I'm like, okay. As soon as he tells you, if he tells you to check back in 2 weeks, come back in 2 weeks. If he doesn't give you a definite time, come back in 2 weeks. Come in every Monday, every single Monday. Come in, know that guy's name or that girl's name, come in, shake their hand, like, hey, I'm not trying to waste any of your time. I'm just really interested about getting a job in the mechanic world. Are you hiring yet? Do you have any positions available? And if you do that every single Monday or every other Monday or once a month, you come in and that guy sees you over and over and over, there's a high turnover rate in the mechanic world. They're going to like that. They're going to be impressed, and they're going to give you that shot. Now, if you don't live in an area that has a tremendous amount of shops, to choose from, well, guys, you're going to have to move. You're going to have to move to a larger city to get your experience, or keep holding out, and maybe that one local shop that you really want to work out might end up hiring you. Maybe. It sucks, to pack up and move and everything and chase your dreams, but at the end of the day, chasing your dream and chasing your passion, what you're passionate about pursuing and everything is going to pay off and be a lot safer in the long run than it is to take a safe job at Walmart, work there for 20, 30 years, and then hate it the entire time. It's so much more valuable to go with that direction. It worked out well for me. It's worked out well for a lot of my friends and family that are all skilled trades and went down that avenue. But I wish when I was 18, 19, somebody would have pulled me aside and talked me out of signing up for that debt at UTI, because then in the long run, It didn't do anything for me. It didn't help me get a job, didn't help me find anywhere. And again, I did not finish the program, but I've had enough experience in shots when guys that did finish the program came in and they were still starting at oil changing and tire changing and everything, because that's just how it is. Regardless, if you get an engineering degree or you get a mechanic certification or whatever the case is, you're going to start at the lowest end of the totem pole and work your way up from there. So guys, I hope this video helps you a lot of you guys. If you got any questions, throw them down in the comments. And the other guys that have went down that road of getting signing up for student debt and then not helping you in the long run, do it. Another thing, while we're on the topic, the whole college deal, people get pushed into getting a college degree, associates, bachelor's, master's, and everything. And there's a majority of the time, more than 50% of the time, they end up in a completely different field. Even when they get in the field that their degree was in, they end up changing 5 years later, 6 years later. They get in the industry and they realize, you know what, I'd rather make cookies. I'd rather bake bread. I'd rather go mechanic on stuff. It's funner for me. So be true to yourself, be honest, and don't sign up for that debt. Hope you liked the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave comments down below. Look forward to the next mechanic video I should have up tomorrow. And get out and fix it. That's the new saying.